This is where we sift through, well, all sorts of sources to bring you those really crucial nuggets of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're doing something a bit different. Our source material, it's quite unique, actually. Snippets from an audio learning tool.
Right.
It's a YouTube video, English listening and speaking practice, learn while you sleep, from the Zen English channel.
Yeah, that's right. And while, the original point was language practice, our mission here is to kind of dig deeper.
Go beyond the words themselves.
Exactly. We want to show you how these seemingly simple everyday chats actually reveal a surprising amount about, well, real-world stuff, human interactions, even, subtle societal things.
Hmm.
You might actually be shocked by how much insight is packed into just ordinary everyday talk.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Ready to unpack the fascinating landscape of the everyday? Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So we're starting right in the middle of it. The daily grind, the workplace, the 9 to 5. And what jumps out almost immediately is something, well, I think a lot of us can relate to, needing a doctor's note just to prove you're actually sick.
Yeah, at a lawyer's office, no less.
Right. It really grounds the conversation in that sometimes kind of rigid reality of professional life, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's a small detail, but it says a lot about the underlying dynamic in some places. Maybe a lack of trust, or maybe just strict rules.
Could be. And it's not just rules. There's also that thread of ambition,
Ah, yes.
We hear about an employee, Scott, been there 5 years looking for a raise.
Standard story so far.
But his leverage, he's got external job offers.
Ah, the classic move.
And the employer's response, well, it suggests they do want to keep him. They value him. It's a little negotiation playing out.
It is. And, Scott using those outside offers,
Yeah.
it's not just smart strategy. It kind of points to maybe a wider truth in some industries.
What's that?
That, well, sometimes you need that external validation, that outside offer, to really get internal recognition or advancement. Like maybe there's a bit of a gap in how they value you until someone else does.
Interesting point. Yeah. And things don't always run smoothly project-wise, do they?
Oh, definitely not.
We hear about this spreadsheet project. It's stalled. Why? Because they're waiting on data from a colleague, Michael.
Always a Michael, isn't there? Joking. But yeah, dependencies.
Exactly. And there's a client presentation due next Monday. So you feel that urgency, don't disappoint the client.
Absolutely. That pressure is real. And Michael, well, he's not just one guy holding things up, is he? It's sort of a perfect example of how vital, team cooperation is and time management.
Yeah.
One little delay can mess up the whole thing. Reminds you every link in the chain actually matters, even for routine stuff.
Totally. Speaking of the office, there's always the office dynamics, leadership changes.
Oh, yeah, the gossip mill.
We get these little glimpses of first impressions. A new boss, Anne, she's described as tough, but also nice.
The classic combo.
But what really comes through is this collective sigh of relief that the previous boss is gone. Apparently, he was pretty mean. There's even a specific mention of him yelling at someone, Bob.
Oof. Yeah, see, that's not just office chat, is it? It really shows the huge impact a leader's style has on the whole, the whole feel of the place, the culture.
Definitely.
That release, everyone feels. It's just they're free from something, maybe a bit toxic. It shows how much things like morale, feeling safe psychologically, are tied to who's in charge. Good leadership stops that yelling at Bob stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you get these incredibly almost mundane details, office supplies.
Yes. The nitty-gritty.
Someone's doing an inventory check, loads of photocopy paper, 10 boxes.
Okay, good start.
But staples, big problem. Need 30 packs, only got 5.
Oh, dear. Stapler crisis pending.
Need red and blue pens, got plenty of black. Sticky notes, enough for years, apparently.
Right. Always too many sticky notes.
But they need more glue. It's so specific, but anyone who's worked in an office gets it, right?
Totally. It's that, what I sometimes call the invisible labor, all that background stuff that has to happen just to keep the place running. Finding a working stapler when you need one is heroic sometimes.
Yeah, but beyond the tasks and the staples, you also hear that human connection stuff, don't you? Like casual plans, after-work drinks, trying a new sandwich place for lunch.
The social glue.
Yeah, and those little favors. Someone needs to leave early, pick up their daughter from school, and asks a colleague, hey, could you just draft this quick email to a new client? Proposal's coming Friday. It's that kind of, mutual support.
It's so important, isn't it? They're not just cogs in a machine. They're people with lives helping each other out. Those quick favors, the informal chats, they're like the The social lubricant that keeps things running smoothly often makes the difference between a good day and a really frustrating one.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move out of the office now. Because the deep dive also shows this whole world of like life's rhythms, how people connect with seasons, weather, being outdoors.
Yeah, that came through really strongly.
People definitely have strong feelings about seasons. Summer, for instance, enjoying the beach, surfing. Someone even wants to learn how to surf.
It's interesting how our fun, our leisure, even our sort of ambitions are tied so closely to the seasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Summer means water, maybe learning something new like surfing. The environment really shapes our play.
Yeah. And spring, well, that's about flowers blooming, appreciating gardens. Pretty straightforward.
Renewal.
But fall seems to hold a really special place.
It does, yeah.
You hear about the changing leaves, Halloween witch and ghost costumes mentioned specifically, and Thanksgiving, family time, pumpkin pie being a favorite. It's such a vivid picture.
It really is. Fall isn't just a season there. It's like a cultural backdrop almost.
Yeah.
It's amazing how one season gets packed with specific holidays, family traditions, strong images, even specific foods like pumpkin pie. It's less about the temperature and more about this shared story we tell each year.
That's a great way to put it. And then winter, often you hear a dislike of the cold.
Understandable.
But also fun stuff, sledding, skiing. There's even a story about a family who tried skiing for the first time last year, loved it, and now they go every year to Aspen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a quick tradition build.
Right.
But it shows how, one good experience can completely change how you feel about something. How families adapt, find joy even when it's cold, often by trying something new that then becomes this treasured annual thing.
Yeah.
Like that Aspen trip.
And weather, obviously, it messes with daily plans all the time.
Constantly.
Like wind. Good for sailing, apparently, learned from a grandfather.
Nice detail.
But too much wind is dangerous. And no wind. Can't sail at all.
Right, that negotiation with nature.
Or rain. Someone's planning a picnic, checks the weather app, cloudy, chance of rain, got to reschedule. It's just constant adaptation.
It is, isn't it? We're always checking, adjusting, using tools like weather apps. The sailing thing, too, shows that deeper understanding people will sometimes have, how to work with the elements or when to just back off.
And sometimes it's more serious, like drought.
Yeah, that came up.
Plants needing rain. Been almost a month and a half. People are out there watering flowers, vegetables by hand, lettuce, tomatoes, peas, onions mentioned.
That's real effort. Shows resilience.
Then the opposite heat. Broken air conditioner, people using neighborhood pools, apartment complex pools to cope, wishing they could go to the beach, but, limited vacation time, real everyday struggles.
They really are. It shows how directly the environment hits our daily lives, our resources. Whether it's the determination of hand-watering a garden or finding ways to cope together, like using those pools during a heat wave, it highlights how vulnerable we are, but also how resourceful.
Then on the flip side, the cold again. Icy lawns, keeping warm with fireplaces, hot cocoa.
Cozy images.
And that very relatable thing, buying new coats online, including dealing with returns if it doesn't fit.
Ah, yes, the online shopping gamble.
Then just the sheer fatigue of extended rain, 3 days straight, 3 more forecasts, affecting everything, running, biking, even walking to work, leads to plans. Gotta buy new rain boots, new jackets.
It's fascinating how our stuff, our possessions, our home comforts become so central to dealing with bad weather, isn't it? Buying a coat online, needing new rain gear. It's not just shopping, it's actively trying to keep life normal, keep comfortable when conditions are tough. That need for comfort, for routine, it's deep.
Yeah, and finally, under weather, storms, power outages.
The dramatic stuff.
People talking about a lightning storm, loud thunder waking them up, power goes out.
Yeah, been there.
And the coping mechanism, lighting candles. It's simple, basic, almost.
It is. It really shows how quickly we can lose all our modern conveniences, right?
Yeah.
Throws us back to basics. And that shared experience, a power cut, lighting candles, it does highlight this sort of universal human thing, resilience when things get disrupted unexpectedly, reminds you what really matters sometimes.
Okay, so moving on from life's rhythms and the weather, another big part of daily life that came up is, well, shopping. The art of consumption, maybe?
Buying stuff.
Like gift shopping. Someone's at Target looking for a present for their husband.
Okay.
Ideas. Sports stuff, like a tennis racket. But then that thought, oh, I need to know the right size.
Practical consideration.
Always. Or maybe a video game console. A new PlayStation, specifically. It's not just buying. It's about knowing the persons, their hobbies, what's current.
Exactly. Gift giving isn't just handing over an item. It's It's thoughtful. You're balancing practical things like size with knowing their interest, maybe even what's popular like the latest PlayStation. It's connection through buying something.
Then there's the really down-to-earth stuff. Grocery shopping.
The essentials.
Someone's making a list.
Right.
Brown rice, spaghetti, salt, pepper, oregano, olive oil, sunflower oil, and lots of cheese.
Love the specificity. Lots of cheese. Relatable.
And then the classic supermarket quest.
Yeah.
Trying to find things. Pasta aisle, aisle 5, honey, aisle 2, frozen strawberries, frozen section, aisle 8, books, up at the front, and the cheese, way at the very back.
It's a mini adventure every time, isn't it? Captures that universal experience, the structured chaos of a supermarket, the list reflecting exactly what that person needs.
Yeah.
Needing help to find things. Daily life.
Totally. We also hear about personal shopping, clothes, cosmetics, buying a white dress shirt, and naturally trying on different sizes to get the right fit.
Essential step.
Or makeup, a light red lipstick with that crucial sample try-on moment, then blue eyeshadow, mascara. Very personal choices.
You absolutely are. It shows how individual this stuff is. Grooming, fashion. It's not just clicking buy. It's hands-on, trying things, seeing how they look, how they feel. It's about expressing yourself, crafting your image.
And beyond clothes, accessories, jewelry.
Okay.
Someone looking for an analog watch.
Okay.
Considers a waterproof one. Costs $100.
Emotional choice.
And then a much bigger deal, shopping for an engagement ring.
Significant.
And there's discussion about style. Unique, antique, modern. Someone mentions liking a rose gold ring specifically. Really speaks to different tastes, different levels of significance, different budgets too.
It does. You see the practical meeting, the deeply symbolic there. A watch is useful, sure. An engagement ring carries huge emotional weight. Those choices, antique, modern, rose gold, they reveal more than just style preference. They tap into stories, maybe tradition, maybe uniqueness, maybe a modern look for a purchase that really marks a life moment.
Yeah. And linking back to those seasons and outdoorsy things, we also heard about buying specific gear.
Right, the practical stuff for activity.
Buying a tent for summer for 2 people, needs to be lightweight for backpacking and car travel, and, they'd prefer a yellow one.
Interesting. That mix of very practical, needs lightweight, versatile, with a purely aesthetic choice, the yellow color.
And then the online shopping experience pops up again. Buying a backpack on Amazon.
Of course.
Noted it was cheaper than in the store. Arrived fast, 4 days. Available colors, red, blue, black.
Yeah, that just perfectly captures the world we live in now, doesn't it? The mix of specific needs, personal taste like the yellow tent, and then the convenience, the price comparison, the speed of online shopping like with the Amazon backpack. Personal choices becoming these global transactions.
Okay, let's shift gears again towards something really personal. Connections. Family, friends, life milestones. These conversations, they offer such a rich picture of relationships.
Yeah, this is where it gets really human.
We hear about family backgrounds, parents' professions. Mothers, for example, one born in France, moved over at 15. Another born in Texas, grew up in Ohio, became an elementary school teacher. Another, a mechanical engineer, had her first child at 35.
It really grounds people, doesn't it? Hearing where they come from, migration stories, parents' jobs. It highlights those multi-generational threads that kind of shape who someone is, their outlook.
And fathers, too. Talk about their ages 65, 70, retirement plans being discussed. Life stages.
And professions.
Yeah.
One was a truck driver, saw the whole country, loved being on the road. The other, a university professor, taught American history. Talk about different lives.
It's a fantastic contrast, isn't it? Gives you such different angles on the American experience. The freedom, maybe the solitude of the road versus the intellectual life of academia. Makes you wonder how those different paths influence their kids.
Yeah. The sources even touch on divorce and blended families.
Which is so common now. Parents divorcing when the speaker was 10, dad remarried, mom didn't. But interestingly, the parents get along now.
That's good to hear.
And there's even this mention of a perk, 2 Christmases, double presents.
Finding the silver lining.
Plus a positive take on having a stepbrother, stepsister, similar ages. It's a very honest snapshot of how families change and adapt.
It's a really nuanced glimpse, isn't it? That 2 Christmases bit, it adds this surprising touch of positivity to what can be tough. Shows how adaptable families can be, finding new ways to connect, even finding upsides in new structures.
Sibling relationships also come up.
Always come play.
Chats about having sisters, maybe fighting a lot but still having fun, or always getting along great. One sister's in college studying sociology.
Good.
Or having a brother 2 years older, fought in the past but now have a good relationship. Weekly barbecues mentioned he's a car mechanic. Such classic sibling dynamics.
They are. It really shines a light on how those bonds change over time, doesn't it? Childhood fights, then adult friendship built on shared history. And mentioning their jobs, sociology student, car mechanic, it grounds these personal ties in their, their real world lives and what they do.
Marriage, future plans, that's in there too.
Big life stuff.
We hear about someone married 5 years, someone else engaged for 3 years, planning a small wedding next year. And that's contrasted with someone mentioning a huge wedding, 500 people. Really shows the range.
It does. It highlights how differently people approach these big commitments, the celebrations. Small and intimate versus large and elaborate. Reflects different values, maybe different priorities about tradition or just personal style. No single right way.
And then parenthood. Aspirations around it. Someone has 3 boys, describes it as a crazy house.
I can imagine.
And someone else is planning kids but wants to travel first, acknowledging, it's harder to travel with children. Very relatable dilemmas.
It's a perfect contrast, isn't it? The reality of having kids now versus planning for them later highlights those common life stages, the trade-offs people weigh up, personal goals versus the wonderful chaos of raising kids.
Grandparents' lives also feature their legacies.
The older generation.
One grandmother still alive, 95.
Amazing.
Memories of grandmothers who've passed. One liked to bake. Another was an adventurer, went on cruise ships in retirement. Both liked good parties.
It's so evocative, that section. Makes you realize how much family stories, those vivid memories of grandparents, shape our sense of who we are, our connection to the past. The baking, the cruises, the parties, they paint such lovely personal pictures.
And grandfathers, too. 2 that were known. One, a retired car salesman. The other, a journalist for the New York Times.
Again, that amazing variety within families.
And another grandfather remembered as just very nice, took the grandkids hiking and fishing. Sounds like really treasured memories.
Indeed. Those simple shared activities, hiking, fishing, they often have such a lasting impact, don't they? Grandparents becoming these anchors in our personal stories.
And there are just those tiny everyday mishaps.
Go on.
The minor panic of not being able to find your favorite coffee mug.
Oh no, the worst.
The one with the funny cat design, only to realize someone else used it. It's so small, but so deeply annoying when it happens.
That tiny detail. I bet loads of listeners just went, yep.
Yeah.
It shows that funny attachment we have to our things and those little frustrations of sharing space. Even a mug can matter.
We also hear about meeting new people, welcoming a new accountant, Alice, just moved to town, inviting her for drinks. It's simple, but it's that important act of, including someone.
It is. It's a neat little example of social dynamics, right? Integrating someone new. That drinks invitation is not really about the drinks. It's a standard, easy way to build a connection and make someone feel welcome.
And finally, just a brief impartial mention of local politics. News that there are special elections because the mayor quit.
Okay, why?
Reason given, might be running for president.
Ambition strikes again.
And just people speculating, chatting about whether he'd have a chance. It's just this casual observation on civic life that bubbles up.
It's interesting how that stuff, even big political moves, just weaves into everyday chat, isn't it? Shows people are aware of what's going on with leaders, their plans, and that kind of informal speculation is like a little pulse check on public awareness, even if it's just casual talk.
So what we've really explored today, it isn't some, grand scientific theory or a major historical event. It's something much closer to home. It's the intricate, really rich tapestry of just everyday human communication. It's genuinely surprising how much detail, how much shared experience and sort of universal truths are packed into these conversations that seem so brief, so ordinary on the surface.
Exactly. This deep dive, it really drives home that if you listen carefully, even to what sounds like just mundane chit-chat, you find this vast landscape of human experience, from dealing with work stress and dreaming about the future to feeling the rhythm of the seasons or just, the simple act of buying groceries. It really lights up how communication, all kinds of it, is how we build our connections, run our lives, and basically share our world with each other.
So what does this all mean for you listening in?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, consider this. The next time you're having just an ordinary conversation, or maybe even just overhearing one, what hidden insights, what unspoken connections might you uncover if you decided to really pay attention to sort of deep dive into the details and maybe listen to the space between the words.